Starting to the bottom right of the map of Ohana, we have the Zerg player, one of the most famous Casper players there is. Starting at the bottom right, in red, is
8th King, JD.
A lot of fans here for him today. Big fan favorite by far.
But he is down one game. He lost map number 1, he lost an Abyssal City to the Protoss player spawning to the top left of Ohana. In blue, we have the MVP player, his IDS.
MVP Finale.
You see, based on his good performances, and this guy is really actually an underrated player. I would draw a connection between him and his other Protoss teammate, Tails. They're, I think, two very underrated Protosses right now on the MVP team.
I completely agree with you, yeah? We have the spawning pool first for Jaedong right now. Of course, a normal build here with the probe already in his main base. He is forced to start with the spawning pool. He cannot risk to start off with a hatch first here, not only because his opponent might go for a forge first and try to cannon him, but at the same time, with the probe already at the main base, at this time, he could potentially block the hatch first, and then you lose so much time while you are being forced to build the spawning pool. So this is why most Zerg players these days, basically all of them, just go for the spawning pool and then for the expansion. There we have it, without gas.
And you guys just saw, and you will again, if you want to take another look when next time you get a glance at the natural. This is a great map for cannoning. There's not a lot of space between the minerals. You can block with 2 pylons and cannon in between those pylons. So that's a big fear. And I'm sure everyone has seen at least one professional game in which a Zerg player has been cannoned and had to cancel the hatchery and go for an all-in build or try to catch up, which is so difficult.
Yeah, it always depends on the layout at the natural. If there's a lot of space behind the mineral patches, you can safely go for a hatch first if there's no probe around to block it. And then even if you are cannon, even if there's a pylon, as long as you spot it, you can use your drones in order to take it down in time. But as soon as the Protoss player can actually build like a small pocket with 2 pylons where you can place down 1 cannon, you are out of luck. This is the most risky scenario ever, and therefore the safe build by Jaedong, who's already building his first scheme. But Finale is now just starting his cannon, his Nexus is nearly completed, and a very early 3rd base for Jaedong, who also makes sure that he scouts, and he really wants this probe.
He really does, but the probe has already seen what he wanted to see. And will he get away with that probe?
I don't think so.
I don't know, man.
He should die. There it is.
First the answer.
First blood for Jaedong.
Yeah, pretty quick little grab there on that. Now, what will Jaedong do next? That's what my WWJD bracelet says. What will Jaedong do? He's going to...
he has to react what's going to happen
Yeah.
here. But you said already when we started the game that this is a map where you see a lot of 2-base timing attacks. The most common ones are actually the Blinkstalker with +2 build, where you just try to get to the 4th base of the Zerg player and then attack down to the 3rd. You can use the same position in order to make an immortal push work. And some players will just try to go for the Warp Prism, use those sentries, trying to block off the ramp and just warp in with a massive amount of gateways behind it. All these attacks center around the idea of taking down the 3rd base, taking down the Zerg player on 2 bases. You can also go for a 3rd here, but it's still a little bit risky because a lot of Zerg players expressed in the past that they really want to be aggressive on this map and want to use this position to take down or to deny the 3rd base for the Protoss player, and from there on just make that better economy work.
Great micro here, by the way, by both players. Zealot really trying to get a good spot. This is something that Finale is actually great at. And Jaedong actually only loses a few lanes there. But you're exactly right. The robotics goes down there. Jaedong actually saw his timing with the Overlord Scout to see if there were gases was so perfect. He actually was able to see the probe make the gases, so he knew the exact moment they were taken. Gotta be very careful with that sentry, but Jaedong now is completely in the know, but he does not know about the robotics. He can assume that something like this will occur because of the gases, but with the gas timing that we see from Finale, it could be, for example, +2 Blink Stalker attack.
You know what I really like by Jaedong is how he uses those additional overlords that he has. He has overlords all the way to the right side of the map, and this is exactly because he wants to spot a Warp Prism. If there's going to be this Warp Prism attack with the sentries that I talked about earlier, the Warp Prism will most likely take a path at the right side of the map, and with all these overlords that are already positioned by Jaedong, he will spot it, and then he will know that he has to position a few units in his main base to defend against it. Very crucial, very important, and very, very cautious play by Jaedong. I like it a lot.
He sees the Robo with the Overlord as well. Just total coverage here. And he immediately starts the Roach Warren. As a result, just like last game, gets the Macro Hatch to the third. I mean, he is playing identical. And you could say the same about Finale, actually. He's pretty much doing the exact same build he did last game as well. But how will this be executed exactly? Adding 4 games, will he actually add the 5th and the 6th? He may.
You know what Jadong tried to do on the last map was something that he might just try to pull off once again. Going for the infestation bit, maybe getting the pathogen glance as well. He was actually able to delay the attack of Finale just a little bit, and if he is able to do this more often, think about how many sentries we had on the last map for Finale. If those sentries get fungal 3 times, he's done for.
And if he gets that first engagement well, you know, before Finale's able to get those horses off, then the sentry count does not build. He's starting the Warp Prism in. Jadong still has not started that position pit, but this time, Caldor, this time he's got the rocks down, he's got the Macro Hatch up, he's got a lot of production. Finale's doing the exact same thing, but this time Jadong is more prepared.
Yeah, and this time Jadong, by the way, he only needs 2 fungals, not 3. Right now, we have not an infestation bit, at least not at this point. He's going for the +1 attack upgrade. The armor upgrade for Finale already started. There's the Warp Prism. We have speed for the Roaches. Once again, he wants to delay this push. This is exactly what Finale did on the last map.
But he's going to catch these Roaches. He uses several force fields, though. And the thing is, this time Jadong is going to run into cannons if he tries to run by. Finale has prepared this time. Last time, he didn't make extra cannons. He wasn't prepared back at home, but he's already got 2 up.
And he fully walled.
Yeah, totally walls here. He can warp in sentries. He does.
Even 2 Zella is a little bit out of luck, but look at Finale already on the creep of his opponent.
Yeah, taking out Tumors.
Yeah.
This is such a scary position for Jadong. He died last time, but this time he is so much better prepared. Will Finale actually just go home and try to make a Nexus? It doesn't look like it. He's warping in more units right now.
He really wants to commit. He wants to make this happen now, and he's going to this 4th base. I talked about it earlier. This is a good spot for the Protoss player to be in. You attack down the ramp. You try to make this choke point work to your advantage. And with all those immortals to support, this time he has only 2 of them.
And I think Jadong has enough to start his infestation pit if he wants to, but he still has to make sure that he attacks his Protoss army from the right angles. He's got a force that can come from the back.
He is trying to flank here. He's really trying to make this happen, but look at the amount of 10 sentries that we have for his opponent. 13.
Great force fields here, grabs a bunch of links.
The force
and the Roaches in the back, I think, are a mistake.
He's trying to bait force fields here, and he doesn't lose too many units. He loses a few, but the second set of force fields to the top left, 5 force fields used to trap 2 Roaches, that's still okay. And once again, he's just trying to bait out sentry energy.
And he's really doing it well. See, Finale's forced to warp in more sentries here. Jadong is doing this so well. You know, he barely got away with most of those Roaches to the north. If he had lost all of them, it wouldn't have been a good trade, but you're right. 2 sentry, or 5 force fields for 2 Roaches is a great trade.
And Finale is in an awkward spot. He really doesn't know if he wants to fully commit to this. And look at this. Jadong actually, he just runs across the map with his units. He's like, well, you don't have the forces. Are you really going to go for it? Or am I the one who initiates the next attack right now and crushes down the rocks at the back of your natural and at your front?
Finale waiting way too long for those force fields. The Roaches are almost entirely up the ramp. The rocks on the other side are almost dead as well. But here comes the Protoss army. Jadong needs to get out.
Their force fields are really
so good.
What a force field, Donut! This is incredible. He trapped so many of them. Jadong will lose a huge amount of units.
There were like 6 Roaches in there. It looked like 1. A great trade for Finale, who now actually, if he wants to, can continue the attack or take a 3rd.
And he takes the 3rd. He builds the Nexus. He has enough morals right now to make a defense happen. Jadong, on the other hand, he transitions. He tries to go for the infestation pit right now.
Yeah, and if he's going to take that Nexus, he needs that robotic support.
Oh, wow. The Warp Prism pulls the main base.
Oh, it comes, and it comes strong. 4 Zealots immediately. This pulls Jadong back. Still no robotic support mate, though. That's something he's going to need. Decides to back off for now.
Good use here. Still trying to chase down the Queen. And yes, he traps it.
Wow, he traps it. Yeah, really well done. He's going to... he's targeting the Extractor by mistake. Big mistake there. Attacks the Extractor by mistake and does not kill the Queen.
He could have killed the Queen, and this is not only really important because of the production that Jadong would have lost, but also because the Scream is the only anti-air that he has in the main base to work against the Warp Prism.
And the robotic support bay, by the way, is on the way as along with Blink. 2 additional cannons going up now as well. He really wants to hold that 3rd base while being aggressive with the Warp Prism, and if he ever spots the Zerg army, if he could poke at it and take out some of those units, he absolutely will take the opportunity.
Jaedong is nearing 200 supply. He gets another hatch. He gets a 4th base. 9 Infestors are being built. The Warp Prism still trying to be a nuisance on the map, trying to harass the 4th a little bit, whereas Finale is just gearing up, building 3 probes at a time right now, pushing his worker count. He wants to saturate these 3 bases right now to have a proper economy to face Jaedong in the late game. The Zerg player already maxed out on supply.
And the Warp Prism is just being, as you said, a nuisance, but he's not able to quite use it. But he's keeping the Zerg units away from him right now. But the thing is, Jaedong is not actually planning on attacking anytime soon. He actually will likely start Hive as soon as his base is saturated, because he knows his opponent doesn't even have Colossi out yet to attack him. And this Warp Prism is done.
Nice fungal here, catches it, and the Queen takes the chance. Now Hive and Spire start at the same time, and we all know what that means. We will have Broodlords in the late game. Finale better be prepared for that. And it looks like he will be. At this point, he's really doing a good job. He's getting all his additional attack. I don't doubt that he will build a Stargate in time to work towards this mothership that he really, really needs. But for now, he is moving out with the army that he has. The first Colossus, Extended Thermalance, is halfway done. And the army supply is now 125 for Finale against 120 for Jaedong.
And without those Broodlords, he actually has a much better composition. Finale does, that is. All these Lings are going to die so quickly, and he's got the sentries around as well. Still 17 of them out on the map. This counterattack is going to be a problem potentially, though.
It has been spotted, though. It has been spotted by the probe, and here comes the counterattack. There are a few cannons and a couple of units for Finale, but not enough to hold this amount of Zerglings.
Yeah, not enough. Indeed, he's actually going to go for the trade. He's not even going to turn around. One Colossus will help.
That will help actually quite a lot, and this 4th base for Jaedong is of course doomed.
And Jaedong sends his roaches. He knows this is a trade scenario. He's probably going to start sending a few drones over there later on.
You know, I'm not quite sure if he can really win this, Wolf. How many units do we have for Finale? He's trying to defend here, and now suddenly great force fields against those infestors.
And he closes the distance before the fungals hit, so now he can start taking out these spine crawlers. He's got a small defense at home as well, but it may just be enough with Warpins.
Can he defend against the roaches as the main base? That's the question. Another fungal hits the Immortals, but look at how many of these roaches actually already died, and this Colossus is doing a lot of damage.
So is the cannon.
Only a few of these roaches actually attack. The rest of them are stuck behind, and now Jaedong is losing base after base. Finally, this one Colossus is done, but there's still a few Stalkers available.
And actually, at this point, once he kills his hatchery and all these Lings, he may be able to turn around and go home. He will lose his last Colossus to Corruptors, but those Corruptors are going to be dead supply once it's gone. All these Spine Crawlers are rooting, but he just has too much DPS here.
There are way too many Immortals right now. He's taking down those Spine Crawlers one by one. Finale at 105 supply. Jaedong still trying to make this work, taking down the robotic support bay. Still a few roaches at the natural of Finale, who still is able to save his base, at least up to now.
Yeah, he has all of his Nexi still alive. Yeah, he lost a lot of probes, but with the Nexi still alive, he can mine really well. Evolution Chamber will fall here, denying that +2 armor.
And at the same time, the army supply is so much better for Finale. 63 against 35. The last few roaches at the natural are dead. The harvester count down to 24 for the Finale, but Jaedong is in trouble.
GG! Finale has done it. He has taken out a legend, and he will advance with his code A seed. He will remain in code A at the very least next season. He's got his up and down spot. He may even be able to get into code S.
Jaedong, on the other hand, he was not able to secure himself a map win against this Protoss player. Starting for Team MVP on Ohana, his fate was sealed, and now he is back into Code B. He has to re-qualify. He has to once again, well, for the first time, he has to go through the ordeal of playing Code A qualifier. Not an easy task.
Definitely going to be pretty rough, you know, unless he does something crazy, I guess, and gets another seed, but it's pretty hard to seed a player twice in a row. That Code A qualifier, pretty tough. Although Flash was able to get in without dropping a single set.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to see Flash fairly soon. I actually don't think that it's going to be next week.
I think it's the following week.
Weeks, yeah. Exactly. Next week we will have our 2 foreigners play. Mana and Naniwa will both play their first round in Code A. But yeah, I would actually have loved to see Jaedong in the next round. On the other hand, Finale played really, really well. Congratulations, of course, to the Protoss player. A well-deserved win here.
I'm feeling happy for Finale because, you know, I feel like he doesn't get enough recognition.
Yep.
He got enough recognition to get that seed in the Korean community, but outside of Korea, I feel like people don't really give the guy the respect he deserves. And he showed good games here. Obviously very aggressive, but a flawless transition, really, on game number 2 on Ohana. His push was totally spotted and shut down, and he knew exactly how to fight it. Like you said, go to the 4th base, fight at that location where you can't really be surrounded, trade decently, and he was just able to do what he needed to do after that. Now you see that Finale will advance to play against StarTale Hack. Not an easy opponent.
Yeah, definitely not. Hack showed today also a great game, also against Zerg. Both of these GSL players therefore able to advance to the second round. And yeah, the Casper players were a little bit out of luck today. The only one who was able to advance was the player that we've seen in the last match.
Yep, and Jaedong's fans are actually going to follow him out and I guess cheer him up. But here are today's results all over from the beginning of the day onwards. Let's pop them up on screen there. Here are our morning results.
The morning results, well, really one-sided as you can see. All the players that got into Code A by winning one of the Code A qualifiers did not win a single map and are therefore back in Code B. Sleep, Ragnarok, Suck, and Dream.
Yep, and just Code A qualified players not able to take a single set there in the morning. Some sad stories there as well. Sleep, teamless player, not able to get a single victory.
Sleep against Young, actually the best game that we had in the morning group. And here, of course, the evening matches. Young, the only player, the only Casper player that was able to advance to the next round of Code A.
Not only that, but the only player, if I'm not mistaken, who qualified for Code A who was able to advance.
Exactly. He was up against First, also advancing Huck, Roro, and Finale. And this already proves that I was just wrong a second ago. Roro, of course, also being a Casper player, also able to advance.
Yeah, well, Byung is the only Casper player who qualified who was able to advance. The rest of them were seeds, of course.
Yeah.
What a cool day of matches we had. Now here are next week's matches. It's going to be Shine against Last, the STX Terran. Then it's going to be Alive up against Hero. That's the 8th team Hero, a Zerg player, actually not to be mistaken with CJ Hero or Liquid Hero. And then Creator Prime, the WCS champion of Korea, will face Noble S, who was able to re-qualify. And last but not least, Jokji will play against SOS, the Woongjin Protoss, getting a seed.
And here we have the second round of games. Mana up against ASD. We have Maru against Effort. Naniwa is facing Mini, and Killer is up against Flash.
And a pretty good outlook for, I'd say, Flash and Naniwa both. Killer not looking too good these days, but he did get a new team, went back to his roots. And Naniwa, when facing a Protoss, his Protoss versus Protoss in the past has been a matchup he's really well prepared for. And the same can be said of Mana. He's been facing a lot of Terrans, and boom, he gets another Terran right away.
Exactly. He was pretty happy with the race of his opponent. Terran is a matchup that he's really comfortable with, that he was preparing for as well when facing his opponents in the Code S group where he was not successful.
Yep, and Amaru is up against Effort. The young Terran player has to face another one of these Kespa legends. Effort, a really good player in StarCraft 1, and in StarCraft 2, already one of the best.
Yeah, exactly. So Maru and Effort is also going to be a great game. Just the matches in general that we see next week are going to be really, really epic.
But before that, we have Code S.
Exactly, Code S and GSTL.
Yeah, GSTL is going to be awesome as well. The real season begins now. We had our preliminaries already. I won't spoil who got in. If you guys haven't watched that yet, go watch the VODs. Check out who got in.
And talking about Code S, tomorrow's group is going to be so sick. It's actually going to be epic. And I will definitely be at the studio to watch these games,
yeah, I'll
guys.
probably come as
if
well.
If you haven't seen it, the group tomorrow featuring DRG, Teja, Bolt, and of course Rain. A great group, so make sure to check it out tomorrow. We're done for the day with Code A. See you guys soon. Bye-bye.